So that whole chunk would sound like... All right, now there's a little picking addendum at the end of that. All right, so what's going on there? There's two options you have at your disposal. If you're a fond bluffer, what you might want to do is take that shape there, which is basically the blues scale we all know and love, with that extra blue note added in. And then just flail frantically. That might sound close enough to you, but if you want the actual notes from the recording, I make it this. First beat, you do nothing for 2 notes, and then 12 on the E, and then 15, 12, 15 on the B. All right, next group of 6 notes would be... So that's going from the 12 on the B to the 15 on the G, and then do it again. And then 14th fret on the G up to the 15th. So far we've got 3 and 4 and... Okay, so next half of that bar, you start off with kind of surprising Dorian sounding note there. So it's 12, 14 and 12 on the G string. And then on the G string, 15, 12, 15. And the final group of 6 notes in that bar, always pedaling off the 12th fret on the G, so it's 12th fret there, and then 14th on the D, back there, 14 again, back to the G, and this time it's a 12 at the end. So that whole bar again, with some concept of rhythm in there, it would be 3 and 4 and 1. All right, at the end of it, to mark the start of the next bar, you sliding down with your 3rd finger to the 9th fret on the G string. And then rolling down the blues scale from there. You've got 7 on the G string, and then 9 and 7 on the D string. And now the same note again, but this time you're going to be playing it with your 3rd finger. That way you can add in that quirky slide. And at the end, just this simple melody, which is just 2 notes, the 5th fret on the D string and the 7th fret on the A string. Okay, there's one more section we need to deal with, and then the distorted solo is all done and dusted, and we can get back to playing octave for the clean sound again. Unfortunately, this is one of the trickiest parts of the whole solo, so let's go really slowly here. What you need is that kind of shape there. Basically what you have to do here is think about pairs of strings, playing a simple arpeggio shape and then moving it up diatonically until you run out of neck. So what we're doing there is 7th fret on the E string, hammering onto the 10, pulling off, and then going 8, 7, 8 on the B string. And now we're going to climb up the neck doing that, but moving the notes around slightly so that every note is still part of the right scale. So that's your first shape. Your second shape, a little more stretched. It's kind of 8th fret and 12th fret on the E string, 8th and 10th fret on the B string. And then you can move that shape up 2 frets. And now you'd move up to the 12th fret, and that's the same as the first shape we did. Now we've got this one. This is the hardest one of the lot. 14, 17, 14. And then on the B string, 15, and even though your index finger really wants to play a 14th fret, don't let it. It's a 13th. And after that shape, that's like the stretched one that we did earlier. 15th and 19th on the E, 15th and 17th on the B. So the idea with that section is So this is a hard one to explain, but basically you need to concentrate on where the first E string note occurs in each section. So if I try and count you through that and play it slowly, maybe the rhythm will reveal itself. It'll be 3 and 4 and... So if you just pay attention to where that first note is, it'll be a... If you speed that up, you've got 2, 3 and 4 and... Okay, so if you've practiced that one basic movement and your fingers know where to go, all you have to do then is memorise which changes happen when you move the shape up the neck. Okay, there's another half, if you like, to this dramatic part at the end of the solo. And what we're doing there, this is actually a little bit easier, I think. We're just moving triads up here, so we'd start with this one. 15th, 12th fret on the E string, and then 13 on the B. And now you slide up 2 frets and roll all the way up and down the same shape. So far we've got... Now you slide that up, and this time it's a minor shape. You'll see it's all the frets with dots, 15, 17 and 19. Now you move it up here to the 19th and then use the 17th and 20th there. So this one's a diminished triad. And then slide up another fret. And that's the same shape as the first one. 20, 19, 22, 19. And now back to the B string for one note. Back to that for one note. And then 22nd fret, bend up a tone. So. Having examined the notes really closely on the record, it seems to me like Steve Vai himself is actually deliberately letting go and sort of losing control in this moment. So it starts out like that. But towards the end, I think he's almost making it up. There's anything to get that climbing sensation and that bend at the end. So even if you can only remember the first half of these shapes, you might find that what you're playing sounds like this, slow. And it won't really matter that much when you speed it up. This isn't true of all the other licks elsewhere in the song, but here it's deliberately trying to let go a little bit, sound a little bit scruffy. And I figured you might as well know what the best possible notes are, so you practice a lick that you can actually use somewhere else. It will still sound good slow if you do these notes. 2 and 3 and 4 and... Okay, you can save the battery on your fuzz box now. We won't be needing it anymore. That's the end of the dirty solo.